Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Subi Vet. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about ignition coils, as you probably got from the title. So I'm going to tell you what happened. About a week ago, I was traveling down the interstate. I was actually in 6th gear, getting ready to come up on exit about a half a mile up the road. All of a sudden, I noticed on the dash the check engine light just started flashing. And I was like, great. So as I started making my way toward the closest exit, I was traveling down the exit. I wasn't giving any gas. The car decided to stall. So after a few attempts of restarting, the car would not start. So I had to pull off to the side, thankfully out of the way. I wasn't anybody's way. So I could check out the car, see what was going on. I ended up pulling the check engine codes. There were two. I had one for P303 and one for P0353. The P0303 was for a misfire on cylinder 3. The other code was basically talking about how it could be an ignition coil issue or another issue. So I was in a situation where I had to have the car towed. I figured I'd get it back to the house, look at it closer that way. So I got the car towed, went ahead and the next day went ahead and looked at the coil on cylinder 3. And after looking at it a little closer, I determined that it was blown. This one right here, I got these in the same order. So if you're looking at the front of the car, this one here is on the passenger side back. So you got cylinder 3 right here. And this is what I found. It right there, it literally started to melt. And as I was going down the road, about the same time the check engine light came on, I started getting this burning plastic smell. Almost smelled like face paint. And I wasn't sure if it was coming from my car or not, but after you can smell it right after you pull the coil out. And yeah, these coils were changed about 2 years ago, 15,000 miles. That one right there, completely bad. The one right above it was starting to go. You could tell how hot it was getting right here. The other two weren't bad, but they probably weren't far behind. But yeah, this one right here literally started to melt. This one, for comparison, so you can see all the melting right here and right there. And if you want the item numbers, I'm going to post them in the description too. These are by ACCEL. So I thought these were supposed to be a pretty good coil. They're labeled as being a high performance coil, but after that incident, I am probably not going to be buying these anymore. So what I ended up getting, I went ahead and changed the spark plugs. I put the Densos back in. I went ahead and got Mishimoto coils. Right now they are for 130 bucks. They come with a lifetime warranty for all 4 coils. So I'll post an update video on those later on. But after a few days of driving it, the car runs great. The only other issue I had was after those coils went out, I did have a fuse that blew too, and it was the EFI CTRL fuse. So if you're looking at the fuse box from the passenger fender, the right fender, this is what you'll see. This is the fuse box, and the coil, or not the coil, the fuse was right here. EFI CTRL. Post a little closer. Yep, 15 amp EFI CTRL, and that stands for engine control unit. And it went ahead and popped, and this can happen to anybody, so I'll go and tell you. I changed the coils the first time, changed the plugs, I changed the fuse, went ahead and tried to start the car. The car would not turn over. It tried to crank, it just would not start, and I was like, what the heck is going on? So I had to spend another day or two going over everything. We ended up going back over the fuse box. Turns out the fuse that I replaced, I put it in the wrong spot. There's a few fuses that are missing. They're like spare slots, so they weren't used on my car, so I put it in the wrong spot. And we went ahead and put it in the right spot, car fired right up. So that's human error, but if you guys are having that issue after doing coils and plugs, definitely check the connections on the plugs, because they don't fit, like I don't think they click in that well, so I would check those. Also make sure that the on the ECU there's a bracket, there's 3 bolts. The bottom bolt under the ECU is a ground bolt, so make sure that when you're testing out the coils, bolt that ECU all the way back up before you try to start it, because it can interfere with the starting. And then definitely check all your fuses. So that's on my end, but hey, somebody's got to do it so you guys can learn. So yeah, I'll give you guys an update on those Mishimoto coils later on, but if it were me, I would stay away from ACCEL, because these things are 15,000 miles. I bought the car used, and they had the stock plugs back in it. I'm not sure if they had been replaced before, but if they were the original coils, those things lasted like 130. And typically coils last between 80,000 to 100,000 miles, and these gave out in 15. So and they don't offer a lifetime warranty too. I contacted the company and they basically said, sorry, they made no effort to make it right. ACCEL is actually owned by Holley now. And so I was pretty discouraged when they basically said, yeah, and the window's closed for the warranty. And I'm thinking it's like not really about the warranty. Like, you guys advertise a product that's supposed to be good. It's something I put my trust in, and it left me stranded. And so, yeah, so I was a little aggravated, as anybody would be. So yeah, definitely stay away from the ACCEL coils. I'll let you know, I'll give you guys an update on the Mishimoto coils later on and let you know if those are a good buy. To me right now, I think they're great, but I'll give a future update to make sure and see how well they hold up. But I think that's going to do it for the video. I appreciate you guys tuning in, and until next time.